Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Maychek, District Wildlife Biologist here in Sheridan for Wyoming Game and Fish. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about our 2024 proposed hunting seasons. The Sheridan Biologist District includes game wardens Jake Miller in Dayton, Jesse Niemeyer in Sheridan, Sarah Dugan in Buffalo, and Tim Thomas as our Regional Wildlife Coordinator, and Dustin Shorma as our Regional Wildlife Supervisor. Starting with pronghorn, this includes hunt areas 109, Becton herd unit, and hunt areas 10, 15, and 16 for the lighter herd unit. In Becton, fawn ratios and buck ratios were both below previous 5-year averages. Harvest was down as well from previous 5-year average, and landowner satisfaction was also below previous levels. 47% of landowners opted for a similar season strategy based on survey. To increase fawn and buck ratios, as well as maintain hunter satisfaction, we propose to slightly reduce licenses. In 2024, we conducted a herd objective review for Becton pronghorn. The current objective is based on 60% or greater satisfaction for landowners and hunters. We now have a need for a population-based objective, and so our strategy was to attempt to balance satisfaction with population estimates. So we looked at years when landowner satisfaction and hunter satisfaction were at or exceeded 60% and matched these up with population estimates from those same years. We also noted days per harvest, and our goal was to try to find a balance among all of those metrics. So from 2012, 2019, 2021, we derived a population objective of 1,500 pronghorn. For lighter pronghorn, fawn ratios and buck ratios were both below previous 5-year averages. Harvest as well was about half of the previous 5-year average. Hunter satisfaction was consistent, however, landowner satisfaction has continued to decline since at least 2019. And for this year, landowners, about 54% of landowners suggested a similar season strategy to 2023. In lighter, Our proposed 2024 hunting seasons are designed to increase landowner and maintain hunter satisfaction, as well as increasing fawn and buck ratios and ultimately the population. Therefore, we propose to slightly reduce licenses throughout the herd unit. In 2024, we conducted a herd objective review for lighter pronghorn. The current objective is based on greater than or equal to 60% satisfaction for both landowners and hunters. We also have a need for a population-based objective, and again, we sought to balance satisfaction with a population estimate to derive our objective. So we compared the results of 3 different strategies for estimating population. One is a historic spreadsheet model that was discontinued in 2021 with that of an integrated population model that was established in 2021, and also compared that to the results of a rigorous line transect survey methodology along with those observations. So what we ultimately elected to do was use the population estimate based on the spreadsheet model, compared this with percent satisfaction, and as the population trended upward, satisfaction trended downward and then fluctuated again as population found a balance somewhere around 15,000 pronghorn. Therefore, we recommend a population objective of about 15,000 pronghorn for this herd. For deer in the Sheridan Biologist District in 2024, these include hunt areas 24 and 25 in the North Bighorns herd unit, and areas 23 and 26 in the Powder River unit. In both areas, west and east of Interstate 90, fawn ratios were excellent, although those that are in Hunt Area 24 were likely slightly overestimated from miscounting of yearlings as fawns. Buck ratios in both areas were stable, however population estimates continued to remain below objective. Primary concerns for these herds remain population size being under objective as they continue to struggle from effects of drought, habitat degradation, primarily from invasive annual grasses, and loss of sagebrush, as well as chronic wasting disease. The overall season strategy is about 2 weeks for antler deer with very limited targeted private land doe fawn harvest. In 2023, the mule deer focal herd study was initiated in 5 herds across the state of Wyoming, including the North Bighorn herd. This was done to better understand population dynamics across a wide spectrum of conditions. Doe survival for 2023, from January through the end of the year, was comparable in North Bighorn to other herds throughout the state, the exception being the Wyoming range, which had a severe winter. Fawn survival from early January through late May was similar for North Bighorn to Laramie Mountains and the Upper Shoshone herds, while survival in Sweetwater and Wyoming range were less, likely from severe winter conditions. Survival of bucks for the North Bighorn herd was also similar to other herds throughout the state, with a variety of hunting season strategies that include both antler point restriction and similar or very reduced seasons. For white-tailed deer, hunter satisfaction remained above 50% in both areas, while landowner satisfaction, particularly in Hunt Area 24, tended to favor populations being above desired levels, while those in 23 and 26 were at to below desired levels. Primary concerns with white-tailed deer tend to be overpopulation and conflict and damage, as well as competition with mule deer and elevated chronic wasting disease. The overall season strategy is to maximize harvest opportunities. Across the Sheridan region, prevalence of chronic wasting disease tends to be higher in white-tailed deer than mule deer and tends to be higher in adult bucks than adult does in both species. When we look at white-tailed deer samples, particularly the density, they tend to be concentrated in very specific areas, particularly those that are positive. For mule deer, which is the figure on the right, samples are distributed more widely and include areas up on the mountain in Hunt Area 25. However, most of the positive samples tend to be concentrated down lower off the mountain. For North Bighorn deer, our 2024 proposed seasons are designed to help balance populations with available conditions, ultimately to increase fawn ratios and the population, particularly in mule deer, and to target damage and chronic wasting disease hotspots, particularly for white-tailed deer. Our only proposed change for 2024 is to extend the white-tailed deer Type 3 license into October. Similarly, in Powder River, we also wish to balance populations with available habitat conditions and to increase fawn ratios and the overall population of mule deer while targeting damage and chronic wasting disease hotspots, particularly for white-tailed deer. For 2024, we have no proposed changes. In 2024, we conducted a herd objective review for North Bighorn mule deer. The current objective, set in 2014, is 20,000 deer. However, this herd has experienced loss of sagebrush integrity. The figure on the left shows historic core area sagebrush in dark green. Many of these areas do not exist or have transitioned into areas for growth opportunity, denoted by lighter green. Furthermore, the figure on the right shows increased annual invasive grasses, denoted by the bright pink color. The current objective for the North Bighorn mule deer population is 20,000 deer. However, this population has tended to be well below objective. Given the variety of conditions, including invasive annual grasses, loss of sagebrush, and chronic wasting disease, we recommend a population objective of 15,000 mule deer. Elk hunt areas in the Sheridan Biologist District include 37, 38 in the North Bighorn Herd Unit, and Hunt Area 129 east of Sheridan, Buffalo, and KC. Hunter satisfaction in these areas has remained relatively stable. Lowest in Hunt Area 37 at 50%, highest in Hunt Area 38 at 80%. Landowners in both areas have tended to suggest populations are at to above desired, while trend counts, particularly in Hunt Areas 37 and 38, suggest the population is over objective. No trend count is conducted in Hunt Area 129, yet those populations have continued to expand. The primary concerns for elk are overpopulation, access to huntable populations, as well as competition with mule deer and increasing chronic wasting disease prevalence. The overall season strategy is to maximize harvest. In North Bighorn elk, Sampling for chronic wasting disease has occurred throughout the herd unit, with a large density of samples at the junction of hunt areas 39, 38, and 40, as well as south of Sheridan. Primary hotspots of chronic wasting disease occur south of Sheridan as well as outside Buffalo. Prevalence has increased over time. To help reduce elk populations to objective and maintain hunter satisfaction or increase hunter satisfaction as well as landowner satisfaction, we propose to expand the Any Elk general season in Hunt Area 37 to November 5th and expand the Type 6 season in Hunt Area 37 into September. To address elk populations off of the National Forest, we proposed a Type 6 license from September 15th to December 31st in Hunt Area 38. And to address expanding elk populations in Hunt Area 129, we proposed a Type 8 unlimited license from September 1st through the end of January for cow-calf on private land. In the Bighorn Mountains, Moose Hunt Area 1 is in the Sheridan Biologist District, and the herd also includes Hunt Areas 34 and 42. In 2023, our population trend counts were above our objectives, both in Hunt Area 1 and throughout the herd unit. Our bull-to-cow ratios were below objective in Hunt Area 1, yet were above objective throughout the herd unit. Our average male age is above objective throughout the herd unit. However, our days per harvest for Type 4 tended to be higher, particularly in Hunt Areas 34 and 42, than in Hunt Area 1. Our primary concerns for the herd is just maintaining a balance of population with habitat conditions, as well as trying to maintain a reasonable level of days per harvest for our Type 4 cow licenses. Therefore, our season strategy is to maintain bull harvest and decrease cow harvest. Therefore, we propose to move a Type 1 license from Hunt Area 34 to Hunt Area 1, given that it has better habitat conditions than 34, and overall reduce the number of Type 4 cow-calf licenses. In 2024, we are updating our moose seasonal ranges. These are being updated utilizing GPS data from a graduate study, as well as long-term observations, and incorporating these information into the spatial models. The updated seasonal ranges will likely look vastly different than what is currently on the map in front of you. For upland game birds, there are changes proposed statewide for 2024. We are proposing for fall of 2024 and spring 2025 to go to Hunt Area 1 statewide for a general license and for our Type 3 limited quota license to be available to be used with certain county limitations. For upland game birds, we are proposing to return to a January 31 closing date for both chukar partridge and gray partridge. For pheasant in Hunt Area 1, our only proposed change is to adjust the date of the Bud Love Youth Pheasant Opener to Saturday, November 16th. And lastly, for small game, we have no proposed changes for 2024. Thanks for your interest in our 2024 proposed hunting seasons. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact one of the wildlife managers listed below. Thanks.